Hi, I'm Michelle with Spill the Tea, and today we're going to spill the tea about the coronavirus in prison. Now this is going to be a video that the prison system is not going to want you to see. And what I got to say, it may be something the government doesn't want you to see. But we're going to spill the tea on it today. So get you a glass and sit down and take it easy for a minute and have a listen. So, my son, unfortunately, is in prison in the state of Georgia. Now, I do not condone anything that he's done to get himself in prison, but let's just say he didn't kill anybody. So, he has a disease that's something similar to Crohn's disease, and he is very ill. He has to take a infusion, and that infusion helps him keep from being so sick, but in the meantime it wears down his immune system, so he is immunosuppressed, and so he shouldn't be around anybody that is sick. Well, he is apparently in a prison that has a more hospital environment, and they are able to help with it. My son has got to have a surgery that remove the majority of his colon, and he went up to the hospital. They set a date for him to go have surgery, and he went to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, they tested him for the coronavirus, and he tested positive for the coronavirus. So they sent him back. They couldn't do the surgery. They sent him back, and they put him in quarantine for 30 days. And his dorm that he was in, they shut it down and quarantined it for 30 days. Well, after the 30 days was up, they did not test him before he put him back into the main dorm that he was in. And they did not test anybody in the dorm for COVID. So after he was already in the dorm, they come, because to be able to have a surgery, he has to have 2 negative corona tests. So he took the first test, and it come back negative. So he was negative for the coronavirus. And then a little while later, they come back in and tested him again. And this time he tested positive. So now he has the coronavirus again. So one thing the government doesn't tell you, we are not sure of, can you get the coronavirus 2 times? Apparently so. Apparently you can. So they put him back into quarantine, and I guess shut down the dorm again. Now, my son is very ill. He was so sick at one time he was in a wheelchair because he was too weak to actually walk on his own. He had to go in, since he's been in prison, twice and have blood transfusions. So he's ill, and so he does not need to be in an environment where he is capable of getting the coronavirus once, much less getting it twice. So when I'm talking to my son, he has asked them to please be more adamant about making sure that they're washing their hands and wearing gloves around him and putting him in an environment that he would be safer in, so that he wouldn't get sick again. And they haven't done that. But they also do not want to test the people that's in the dorm, because they don't want their numbers to go real high. Now, he said that when he was originally sick with the coronavirus, that his roommate, the guy that bunks with him, was also sick. So more than likely, his bunkmate had the corona as well. So it's probably went through this dorm with people getting sick and none of them being tested for the coronavirus. And being that his immune system is compromised, here he has it again. So what are we to do? How do we get the prison system to really look at his at his disease and say, hey, maybe we need to do this. But they don't. They don't care because he is in prison. And so their health is not important to him or any of the rest of them's health. And the government, and they don't want the government to, know how high the rate of them having COVID really is. Now, I guess that has to do with money or funds, but that's not taking care of the American people. They are prisoners, but they're still human beings, and they're still, Americans. And they deserve to be treated for their medical needs. Now, I'm not saying they need anything special. They don't need candy and special food, and but they do need to have their medical taken care of while they're in there. Now, my son doesn't have very long. He should parole out in October, so it's not like he has a long sentence. He's a short timer, and it looks like they could have made different arrangements for him since he's not going to be there for very long. But in the time that he has been here, he's sick for the second time. So what do? Do I call the CDC and say, hey, you need to look at this situation? Do I call the governor and say, hey, you need to look at this situation? Do I need to write the president and say, hey, this situation needs to be looked at? Or are they going to say, he's not important because he's a prisoner? So I'm going to ask all of you to help me. I'd like for you to share this video with everyone you know. And if you know somebody higher up in government, most surely send it to them. Because this has to be looked at. I know that people are looking at this and said, well, this guy's a prisoner, but this guy is also my son. He's a human being. And he hasn't committed murder or anything. He just violated his probation. And that landed him in prison. Now, it would mean a great deal to me if people would share this and help me help my son. And there is no telling how many other people in the Georgia prison system, or even any prison system around the United States, where you have individuals that have the same situation, are sick with something and taking medication that causes their immune system to be lower than normal persons, and that they're capable of being sick. Now, I know the government, when you question them, they're like, oh, we don't know if you can get it more than once. We think that, they're doing all these tests to see if you can build up an immune system, immunity against it so you don't get it again. But what happens if you don't have an immunity system to be able to beat back the virus? My son's had it once, and it looks like he would have built up antibodies. But the fact that his immune system is suppressed meant that he couldn't fight this infection off, and this virus off, and he got it again. Now, I'm concerned about my son. I'm concerned about his safety. And I know that there's hundreds of thousands of parents out there that are going through, whose children are in prison, that worry about them as well. So I'm asking for your help. Help me have something done to help these sick people that are in prison get the care that they need, and get the prison system to take it seriously about their diseases, and to tell the truth about how many cases of the COVID virus that they have. If this testing is done, then we'll know that the prison system is full of the coronavirus. Now they're sitting there, everybody's thinking that, oh, there's not many in the prison system to keep them out, but that is not true. That is absolutely not true. The prison system is full of men and women that have the coronavirus, and they're stuck in the system, and there's no way for them to get the help that they need without the prison medical staff doing something about it. And so we're calling on the medical staff of all the prisons to take care of their prisoners the way that they should be. Now, I really appreciate your help. This is a video that I really didn't want to have to put out there, but my son needs help. And so I'm asking you, call CDC, share this video with somebody that you think can help us out, and make a difference. Make a difference today. This is Michelle with Spill the Tea.